Hello, hello, hello. Everybody come on in. Come on in, come on in. I'm not going to be on here forever. Only going to be on here for a few minutes, about half an hour, and then I have to go to the gym. So tap on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, guys. So I have good news. I got a job offer, and I used ChatGPT to help me get the job. And I want to share what it was that I did, what worked, and what didn't work. So, if you want any of the prompts that I used to write my resume and update my cover letter, the ChatGPT prompts are now available. Just click the link in my bio, and there will be a digital product for you to download. It's 100% free, so you don't have to pay for it. However, you will have to actually sign up and give your email, and you'll receive the ChatGPT prompts. So yeah, I got it's official. I got the news today. I did get the job offer. I will take the job offer, and I used ChatGPT in order to do it. So here are a few things that you should know. If you are interested in trying to find a better paying job, even in this economy, it's still possible. But I will say it's a good idea to use whatever tools that are available to you. I use the free version of ChatGPT in order to update my resume, and I want to share with you some pros and some cons with doing that. So I would say the first thing, let me tell you what I did first. Let me tell y'all what I actually did. So using ChatGPT, I basically created a prompt to compare the job description to my resume. When I used that prompt, I had to be very specific about what it was I was looking for. There's multiple prompts for this. Click the link in my bio to get access to those prompts. It's 100% free. It's just a document. It's a PDF of all the prompts on them. One thing I will say, though, when I did this, I have two different prompts. The first prompt was just a comparison between the job description and my resume. The other prompt that I created was almost like a framework for assessing my resume. And the reason why this matters. So, full stop. In my current job, I have built custom GPTs. And I can't really tell y'all what specifically I do, but I build custom GPTs for work to evaluate different kinds of deliverables to see if it meets business requirements. And so when I did this, and within my job, I understood that in order to get a really good outcome from any AI generated product, you need to be very specific about what you're measuring it against. So I created like a basic 4 to 5 point framework to better understand like what it was I wanted ChatGPT to assess. So in one of the prompts, you'll actually see I created like I think 4 or 5 different things that I wanted my resume to reflect. I wanted it to have quantifiable impact. I wanted it to show that it was well written, that it had action verbs. I wanted to compare keywords in the description to keywords in my resume, all those different things. So in doing this framework, and I put it in a GPT prompt. Normally, you can build a custom GPT to do this, but if you only have the free version will suffice. You can just plug it in, attach your resume as a PDF, and let it roll. And so the GPT will compare, or ChatGPT will compare your resume to the description that you attach. And it'll evaluate it against those metrics that you set. And I thought it was really comprehensive, actually. I thought it did a really good job. So when it comes to like using ChatGPT, especially if you're trying to update your resume, write a cover letter, search for different jobs, which I'll get to that in a second, how you can use ChatGPT to search for jobs. One of the most important things you have to do is be super specific in what you're asking it. So a lot of times when I've been scrolling on Instagram and I see some of these career coaches or whatever, they call themselves using ChatGPT, their prompts are super lame. And they're really lame because they're not specific, they're not detailed, and they're not telling ChatGPT what kinds of information to pull. What do I mean by that? So ChatGPT doesn't know everything. It only knows what data is available on the internet, what data is publicly available. And so the problem with this is that if you are asking ChatGPT a question, it's going to give you an answer, and it's going to give you the link to where they found the answer. The onus is on you to go look at that link to make sure it's the correct information, because ChatGPT can be wrong. So one thing I point out in the freebie, so if you want the ChatGPT prompts that I use to get my job, click the link in my bio. I say in the document, and I'm really serious about this, you need to check behind ChatGPT. You just do. Like, you cannot assume that it's going to give you the correct information. It gives you a good deliverable. It really will give you like a good result, but always check behind it to make sure it's correct. Okay? AI can hallucinate. It can make up false information. It can misunderstand what you're asking it. So again, be detailed, be specific. Don't be using a ton of run-on sentences, because it's going to confuse the GPT. Like, just be direct, be specific and detailed in what you're asking it. So additionally, if you are using ChatGPT like me and you're trying to get a 6-figure job, you can do this. I did it. I literally just found out today I got another job. And I'm not leaving my current company, it's within my company. But the point is that I was able to use ChatGPT to do it. So a lot of the prompts that I use to get these 6-figure jobs, I'm giving to y'all for free. Like, it's for free. The link is in my bio. Download the freebie and you can see what I use. And it's not no beginner stuff. It can actually get quite advanced depending on the person using it. So another tip that I would have, if you're trying to like get the most out of these prompts, one thing I would say is get really good at chain prompting. And so what that means is, like, you ask GPT a question and then it'll give you a response. The onus is on you to keep asking it more questions so it can refine the result and it can give you a better result each time. Now, the prompts that I put in my freebie are dope. So it's going to give you, if you do it right, if you follow the instructions, it's going to be dope. It's going to give you so much information and you're going to be shocked at the results that you get. And it will also include links so you can check behind it to make sure it's accurate. That being said, though, I do want to point out that even when it gives you the result, you need to constantly refine it. So for example, if you're using some of the prompts for cover letters, like let's say you're trying to write a cover letter, the prompts in the freebie include that. There's a few for writing cover letters, but you need to be as specific as humanly possible. And it'll give you a result, skim it, read it over, and then say use certain kinds of verbiage or use a professional tone. Be specific about how long you want the cover letter to be. You can say, I want it to be 3 paragraphs, 200 words or less, and it will give you that result. So again, like, the more specific you are, the better, and refine the results over time. Now with this, if you have the free version of ChatGPT, you're gonna be limited in how many times you can do this. So I will point that out. But at least run it through 2 or 3 different times, asking questions, tweaking it, and changing it. And then you're going to get a really good result. I promise you. I've done this with my clients in our private one-on-ones, and they are shocked at how good the results actually are. My ChatGPT prompts are legit. They're legit. Another thing. So another problem that my clients have is they struggle to understand what jobs they qualify for. So they know that they're in a job right now and it sucks. The job sucks. Okay, it doesn't pay them enough. They don't really like what they're doing, whatever. And so usually they come to me because they're like, okay, Faith, I need to figure out what it is that I like. What is it that I'm good at? How exactly am I supposed to apply to new jobs when I don't even know what jobs I qualify for? They can go on LinkedIn and they'll see a bunch of job postings and nothing sounds interesting. And so what I did was I came up with the ChatGPT prompt to solve this problem. So if you are looking for jobs and you're still not sure what kind of jobs you should apply to, there's a ChatGPT prompt for that as well. And it gives you a list of jobs that you can apply to. That being said though, again, you need to be specific. So when I put the prompt in there and I was making tweaks and changes, one thing that I did was I said, I need to specify the industry that I'm applying to. I need to specify the salary that I'm targeting, the salary range that I'm targeting. I need to get clear about what skills that I want to target. And between your industry, salary range, skills you want to target, and maybe your city, meaning the city where you live in. Search those things, put it in there, and tell ChatGPT, I need you to find active job postings that fit within this range. It'll send you like 20. And it gives so much detail. Y'all, when I tell you, stop everything you're doing. Go to my bio right now and download this freebie. I'm not playing with y'all. These are solid prompts. And these are prompts that I personally used, tested out with some of my clients, and it got them amazing results. I mean, people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I was eligible for this job and this job and this job. And I'm like, yeah, you actually are. You actually could. Like, there's people who were applying for assistant positions. And once they went through ChatGPT and started playing around, they were like, oh my God, I should be applying to this assistant director position. I'm like, yeah, you should. They had the skills, but they just needed a short list of jobs that would overlap with what they do currently. And then from there, you need somebody like me to take that list that ChatGPT generated and then sort through the ones that you see there's a viable future for. And so that is why I feel like my coaching practice has become so impactful, because just integrating basic AI ChatGPT prompts, it expands your mindset for all the kinds of jobs you're eligible for and what's possible for you. And so as a result, this individual, they saw all these different jobs. We talked through it in our one-on-ones to understand, okay, here's a list of 20 jobs, but maybe only 7 of them are even remotely interesting to you. And out of the 7, let's look at the industry. Is that industry even hiring? Is there a lot of money in this industry? Is it a strong industry for your region? These are all the questions that we have to answer, because otherwise people are barking up the wrong tree. A lot of y'all aren't using any real strategy. And so you're going into this thinking, I don't apply to 1,000 jobs. But unless you're in LA or a major urban center, you may be in a field that there isn't a lot of opportunity right now. And so that's why I really believe that using ChatGPT to help you in your job search process is extremely important. You're doing market research, doing industry research, using ChatGPT is so helpful. It saves hours. I mean, I'm talking about 20 hours of time I saved. So drop everything that you're doing. I mean, drop everything. Go to the link in my bio, grab that freebie. It's not going to be available forever, but grab it while I'm feeling generous and grab those prompts, because they're solid. They're solid. Like, I've looked at a lot of what these career coaches, some of them don't even use AI, which is insane. In 2025, if you're not even using ChatGPT or Copilot in your business, what's going on? I can't tell y'all to do stuff that I'm not doing. And some of them baby prompts that they had out there, I said, nah, they ain't gonna work. So the prompts that I give y'all are solid prompts that help me get a 6-figure job multiple times. I didn't hold back. I gave you examples. You just need to download the freebie and see it for yourself. I gave y'all the cheat code for real, and a lot of solid advice for how you actually use ChatGPT effectively. Because some people are using it as a therapist. Well, you should be using ChatGPT to build a business. You should be using ChatGPT to build a framework to evaluate your resume every single time you submit for a job. You should be using ChatGPT to correct your cover letter and to do a first pass. So then you can take whatever it generated and fix it up, make it nice, make it say the things that you want it to say. These prompts are amazing. Like, you're going to be shocked at the level of output that you're getting. And what I would love for y'all to do is to download the prompts, try it out, and then book a call. Because a lot of the results that you're going to get is going to blow your mind. You're going to see jobs that you didn't even think that you were qualified for. And you're going to be like, you mean to tell me I could have been making 80K? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a living proof that it worked. It worked for me, and it worked for some of my clients. I used the same prompts that are in my freebie. I used those same prompts, and I got that offer letter today. So 6-figure job, I'm out. We out here. I just job hopped to somewhere else. 80K sounds nice. I bet it does. 80K is 80K. You know how many times my clients have said to me, I'm barely scraping by with 45K a year. And then they use some of the prompts that are in that freebie. And they're like, you mean to tell me I qualify for jobs making 60 to 80K? Yeah, you do. You do. All you need to do is rebrand, fix up your resume, and then get your mind right. Get your head together. And you can get that 80K job. That's what I'm here for. Because that could change somebody's life. An extra $40,000 a year, that's life-changing for a lot of people. So anyway, to quickly recap, right? The point I'm trying to make is that I have effectively used ChatGPT and other AI generators and tools to fix up my resume, write cover letters, search for jobs and opportunities, making almost double my salary, and I got the jobs easily. I applied and got them. So I know the prompts work. But again, for some of you, you need to work on prompting well, because I gave y'all some great prompts, but there's certain skills that you need to develop. So if you're going to use ChatGPT, make sure you're using it right. Are some of those jobs outside the country? You can. So one thing I said before is that when you're using ChatGPT and your prompt, this is just basic prompt engineering, okay? Just basic prompt engineering. You need to be specific. You can't just say, oh, give me a list of 20 jobs making over 100K. That's not specific enough. Look at the prompts that are, click the link in my bio and go download those prompts and play around with it. Because in the document, in the freebie, I kind of coach you on how to use it. And you have to be specific. Put the industry, put the location, put the salary range that you're looking for, and put the skills that you are trying to utilize. You have to do all of the above. And then that's going to give you the cheat code. And it'll spit out a bunch of jobs that you can take a look at. And it will include links to those jobs on LinkedIn. So again, the more specific you are, the better. You have to train the GPT to give you the response you need. Otherwise, it'll still give you a result, but it's not going to be as useful. Additionally, I would say, and this is where some of y'all probably need to book a call with me, because one thing I found is I can give y'all the prompts, but some of you don't even know what skills will put you in the 6-figure category. And that's also a concern, right? A lot of the prompts are really, really useful, but in order to use them effectively and to interpret the data meaningfully, you are going to need somebody like me to comb through those results and talk through it with you.
The reason I say this is because, you know, there's all sorts of jobs that will come up, but all jobs are not created equally. And you will need somebody who actually understands the industry to comb through those and say, okay, it gave you 20 results. Maybe 4 of these are legitimately good options for you and your career profile. However, are these the skills that you want to double on? Some people, they are pricing themselves out of a 6-figure job simply because they're focused on the wrong skills. There are certain skills that immediately will get you a 6-figure income because of the level of cognitive difficulty, right? And then there's some skills that I'm like, that is going to be redundant. That's going to be automated. So you don't really want to focus on that. There are certain industries that are making a lot of money right now. And then there's some industries that are struggling. That's the purpose of a career strategist. I can talk you through how to interpret the data and actually apply it, make it actionable. Does that make sense? It's kind of like if somebody gave you a chart. If you're looking at job growth data or something, if you're looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics data, that's great. It's open source. Most people can see it. But how many people can read it, interpret the data, do some data visualizations to extract insights from it, actionable insights that are correct and useful for you? Not many people, right? You have to actually you have to be comfortable with numbers, comfortable with like Excel, comfortable with like, you know, different like dashboards and analytics dashboards. Pull those numbers together, make something meaningful from it, and interpret the data in a way that makes sense. That's what I'm here for. I don't have to gatekeep the ChatGPT prompts from y'all. Just go download it and try it and use it on your own. And when you do, come back on TikTok and tell me how it went. I want to know how it went, because the prompts are good. The prompts are solid and it's going to get you some great results. But I do highly recommend that y'all book a follow-up call with me to go through those results and talk through what it is that you saw. Because out of the 20 job openings, maybe only 7 of them are even remotely interesting to you. And out of that 7, how many should you actually apply to? Don't waste your time on stuff that you don't need to apply to. And it's 2025. Doing a random spray and applying to any and every job is not helpful. You got to be more strategic. You don't have time to waste. We all have limited resources, and most of y'all have the free version of ChatGPT. So you literally can't apply to every job every day. You got to pick and choose which jobs you want to apply to and which jobs you're competitive for. You have to know that. You have to be able to look at your own career profile and understand what kinds of jobs you're even competitive for versus the ones you're basically qualified for, but you wouldn't get the job offer. And that matters. It really actually does matter, because there's some jobs that you may be qualified to do it, but you're not going to rank as high in the ATS system as somebody who has a slightly different career profile than you. And it has nothing to do with degree. Sometimes it has to do with your professional experiences. Some experiences are valued more than others. So that's why you use somebody like me. If you want the GPT prompts, you can get them. The link is in my bio. Try them out. Make a TikTok or something. Tell me how it went, because I'm genuinely curious to know, like, when you use these prompts, like, how useful was it for you? What the results were. But then also be clear, like, you're going to have to talk through those results. Most likely. To make sense of what it is that you're reading. But yeah, any other thoughts that I have in the moment? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I already talked about checking behind ChatGPT. You need to always check to see the level of accuracy. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out. It's always helpful to tell ChatGPT where to go for the information. The reason I say this is because I found there was a difference when I was doing some prompting just to see what I would get. I found there was a difference between when I would tell ChatGPT directly to go to LinkedIn to do some data scraping and to pull active postings for jobs that we're recruiting versus just doing a general prompt. I find that sometimes it may be modest differences or marginal differences, but there are differences when you tell ChatGPT where to pull the information from. Does that make sense? Because again, like, you want to be able to trust the data that ChatGPT is giving you. And sometimes you just can't. And it's easier to tell it where to go, and then it'll give you a bunch of different links to every single job posting. So it makes your job a lot easier. And you can verify that those jobs are indeed still hiring, or at least they're actively recruiting, even if they're not actually trying to fill the job. Does that make sense? Because again, like, whenever you start experimenting with these different AI tools, because one day I might have to do a separate post or like a separate freebie just on Claude AI, because I play around with Claude too, but you just gotta be careful is all. And at least in the prompts that I'm giving you guys, it'll give you a link for every single job posting. Some of the prompts I did want to add, you have to be really careful about the formatting too. So I think there's some prompts that I did for generating a cover letter, and the cover letter was decent, actually. It gave me a decent first pass, but I will say, make sure that you look at the formatting. Some of you are going to copy paste, and you should, but really read the prompt and make sure you're correcting and inserting things that are necessary. Some of these prompts, there's specific details that you need to include. Okay? There's certain details you might need to include. So make sure that you read the prompt and insert where I tell you to insert things. In some of the prompts, I'm going to tell you to insert your industry, insert your desired salary, insert a specific skill set that you have, insert your city or a major city or location. Do those things. And then really read the prompt and make sure you adjust the formatting, because again, it's only giving you the results that you ask it, and you don't want to do too much and confuse it, right? Does that make sense? Like, you actually can confuse the AI a little bit, and it might give you a wonky result. So again, play around with it. Have a level of curiosity about this. Be curious. Come into this open-minded, be curious, play around with the ChatGPT free version to see what happens. But I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun playing around with it and exploring what's possible. And I don't think... Okay, I got 2 more minutes left before I have to go. Do you guys have any questions about ChatGPT before I go? I gotta go. Gotta go. Any questions? All of you, go download the freebie. And book a call, probably. Probably book a call, especially if you download the freebie after you've played around with it. And we can discuss some of the results that you got. Any questions? Last call on questions about ChatGPT before I go. Thank you for the like, Spoiled Venus. It's always nice to see you. There's several folks in here that are always in my live streams. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining. Is the ChatGPT call a group call? What ChatGPT call? There is not a ChatGPT call. There is a clarity call, which is a 30-minute session with me, and we can talk through your results, but that's not a group call. You might be talking about my Patreon. I know on Patreon we have monthly discussion topics. Oh, actually, since you brought that up, the Patreon has been lit. The Patreon, I'm trying to tell you, it's been lit. The girls in there are lit. So let me explain. I started this thing where, like, once a month, me and the ladies in the Patreon get together and we talk about something. So last week we did a monthly discussion about AI and social classes. It was so good. Like, the ladies are in there are so smart. We had some people from different parts of the world talking about social classes in different countries. And comparing it to America. We talked about history, politics, economics. We talked about the way Black women are treated in the workplace. We talked about even how, like, Black men and Black women, how we navigate classism totally differently. Oh my gosh. Fire. fire. That was a fire conversation. And so, yeah, people were like, we're coming back to the next one. So I highly recommend, if you like intellectual discussions, the ladies in there are really smart and they have a lot to offer. Next, I think at the end of August, I'm doing 2 for August because I won't be able to do one in September. In the end of August, August 30th, we will be doing a call about the T app, getting the tea on the T app and what's going on with that controversy. That's going to be a good one, because that is the call where we're going to talk about mass surveillance and how AI and some of this technology is encouraging people to spy on their neighbors and to spy on other people. We're going to talk about that CEO of Astronomer that got exposed, child, for cheating, and how his whole family got doxxed. We're going to get into how the girls are so desperate for a man that they're on the T app looking for a man. The T app was created for women to communicate about men and some of the things that be going on. They're using the app for a complete different purpose. They're using it as a dating app. Some of them are using it as a dating app. We're going to talk about the women who are so down bad. They're in the T app taking pictures and sending it to their man. We're going to get to their man. We're going to get into that August 30th. And it's going to be fire. So I'm really excited about that call. Wow, I need to get on these monthly calls. Yeah, the calls are lit. So anyway, I have to go. I'm over time. Hi, Albano. I hope you're doing well. I gotta bounce, unfortunately. But yeah, so if you want to join those monthly discussions, you have to be a paid member of the Patreon. So, period. That's period. You have to be a paid member of the Patreon to join the monthly discussions. That's just, it is what it is. That is what it is. You know what I mean? So to join the monthly discussions with other ladies, these are all business professionals in some capacity. You have to join the Patreon. It's well worth it. There's a lot of content, but most importantly, the kinds of people in these discussions. It's really a lot of content, but most importantly, the kinds of people in these discussions. It's really, there's so much value there, is what I'm saying. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I gotta bounce. I gotta go to the gym. But yeah,